In a world that constantly asks you to think faster, solve harder, and know more, imagine for a moment an intelligence that requires no effort at all. Before you close your eyes, take a deep breath. Realize that right now, your heart beats with a rhythm it learned before you were born, and the stars above are moving in a mathematical dance they have perfected over billions of years. You don't need to be smart tonight. You just need to be. Tonight, we travel back through time to discover that true intelligence isn't about stress. It's about the flow of the universe. Let go of the need to understand and simply listen. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Unclench your jaw. Let the muscles in your face soften like wax melting under a gentle, warm sun. Before we begin our journey into the history of intelligence, understand that you have nowhere else to be. The day is done, the tasks are finished. The world outside has slowed to a halt, waiting for you to find your rest. Tonight, we drift back, far back. We are floating on the gentle currents of time, moving away from the noise of the modern world, away from the screens, the notifications, and the endless demand for immediate answers. We are drifting toward a place where intelligence was not a race, but a sanctuary. Visualize, if you will, the edge of the Mediterranean Sea. The year is somewhere in the glorious haze of antiquity. The air here is warm, carrying the scent of salt water and dry desert sand. Above you, the sky is a piercing, impossible blue. But where we are going, the light is softer. We are walking up the limestone steps of the Great Library of Alexandria. This is the birthplace of collective memory. But as you step through the colossal archway, leaving the bright Egyptian sun behind, the first thing you notice is not the books, it is the temperature. The air inside is cool, preserved by thick stone walls that have absorbed the coolness of the night and held it safe against the day. It feels like a refreshing embrace, settling against your skin, instantly calming your pulse. And then there is the silence. It is not an empty silence. It is a heavy, comforting silence. It is the sound of thousands of years of thought resting quietly on cedar shelves. In our modern world, we think of intelligence as something loud, a debate, a lecture, a notification ping. But here, in the most intelligent place on earth, there is only a hush. Walk with me slowly across the floor. Feel the smooth, cool stone beneath your feet. There is no rush here. In this era, wisdom is not something you download in a second. It is something you inhabit. Look around you. The room stretches out like a cavern of dreams. Vast columns rise up to support a high ceiling, where windows are cut high into the stone to let in the light. But the light does not glare. It filters down in soft, golden shafts, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. These dust motes drift slowly, spiraling in the sunbeams, obeying the laws of physics with a lazy, relaxed elegance. The walls are lined with niches, and in those niches rest the scrolls. Thousands of them. This is the intelligence of the ancient world. It is not frantic. It is sleeping. Imagine reaching out a hand to touch one of the scrolls. You can feel the texture of the papyrus. It is organic, made from the reeds of the Nile River. It feels slightly rough, yet warm to the touch. It smells of dried grass, of earthy river mud turned into paper, and faint notes of beeswax and resin used to preserve the ink. This is the smell of slow time. There was a belief in this time that reading was a form of medicine for the soul. Above the shelves, an inscription reads, "The healing place of the soul." Breathe that in. The idea that knowing, that thinking, was meant to heal you, not stress you. In these halls, scholars would spend days, sometimes weeks, reading a single scroll. Imagine the luxury of that focus. No tabs open in a browser, no buzzing phone, just the sound of a scroll being unrolled, a soft, dry crackle that echoes gently in the vast quiet. Crackle, hush, crackle, hush. A rhythm as steady as the tide. You see a figure sitting at a long wooden table in the distance. He is draped in simple linen robes. He is reading. He does not look up. He is perfectly still, except for the slow movement of his hand as he traces a line of Greek text. He is not trying to prove anything. He is not taking a test. He is simply letting the words on the page flow into his mind like water filling a cup. This is the whisper of Alexandria. Here, intelligence is a passive act. It is about reception. It is about listening. The ancient Greeks and Egyptians understood something we have forgotten, that true understanding requires a slowing down of the blood. To learn the secrets of the stars or the geometry of the earth, one had to sit still enough for the truth to land, like a butterfly landing on a quiet leaf. As you walk deeper into the library, the scent of the ocean mixes with the scent of the papyrus. The Great Library was built near the harbor. If you listen closely, underneath the silence of the room, you can hear the very faint, rhythmic sound of the Mediterranean waves crashing against the sea wall. Whoosh, pause, whoosh, pause. The rhythm of the sea syncs with the rhythm of the scholar's thoughts. It syncs with your breathing now, in and out, slow and deep. The ocean has been beating against that shore for millions of years, a vast, intelligent force that never rushes, yet always gets where it is going. In this library, there is no competition. The mathematician does not fight the poet. The astronomer does not argue with the physician. They sit side by side in the golden light. The scrolls of poetry, filled with verses about love and wine, rest comfortably next to scrolls of geometry, filled with triangles and circles. It is a harmony of knowledge. Everything belongs, just as every part of you belongs in this moment of rest. There is a profound relaxation in knowing that you don't need to know everything. In this library, there are hundreds of thousands of scrolls you will never read, and that is beautiful. They are there, safe, being taken care of. You don't need to hold the information in your head. The shelf holds it for you. The stone holds it for you. You can let go. Imagine finding a quiet corner between two towering shelves of cedar wood. There is a cushioned bench there, upholstered in soft woven fabric. You sit down. The wood of the shelf behind you feels solid and supportive. You are surrounded by the collective intelligence of the human race, but it doesn't ask anything of you. It simply surrounds you like a warm blanket. You watch the light change as the afternoon wears on. The golden shafts of sunlight turn a deep, rich amber. The shadows of the columns lengthen across the floor, stretching out like sleepy cats. The library is settling down. The dust motes are moving slower now. In this place, time is measured not by clocks, but by the movement of the sun and the turning of pages. There is a deep sense of trust here. Trust that the universe makes sense. Trust that there is an order to things. The scholars of Alexandria believed that the world was built on logos, reason, proportion, and harmony. They believed that if you were quiet enough, you could hear the music of the spheres. You don't need to solve any problems tonight. The problems were solved long ago.
written down, rolled up, and tucked away in these cubbies. The geometry of the pyramids is safe. The maps of the stars are safe. The history of the kings is safe. You are off duty. You are simply a witness to the piece. Feel the weight of your body sinking onto the bench. The smell of the old paper is hypnotic. It reminds you of the earth, of roots, of things that grow slowly.
There is a specific kind of intelligence called crystallized intelligence. It is the wisdom that hardens over time, becoming solid and reliable like a gem. This library is the physical embodiment of that. It is solid. It is not fluid or chaotic. It is a bedrock. You can rest your head on it. As the sun begins to dip below the horizon outside, the light inside the hall turns a soft twilight blue. The scribes are packing away their quills. The sound of a ceramic ink pot being covered, a gentle clink, echoes softly. One by one, the few people remaining begin to drift toward the exit, their sandals making a soft shushing sound on the stone, like a lullaby. But you stay. You are safe here in the twilight. The large oil lamps are being lit one by one. They do not banish the darkness, they simply warm it. The small flames flicker, casting gentle, dancing shadows on the rows of scrolls. The atmosphere changes from a place of study to a place of dreaming. The intelligence of Alexandria is now entering its rest phase, just as your brain does when you sleep. It is said that the library was designed to align with the winds, to keep the air circulating so the paper wouldn't rot. Can you feel that gentle draft? A cool, soft breeze that brushes past your cheek, carrying the promise of a restful night. It whispers to you that it is okay to not know. It whispers that the most intelligent thing you can do right now is to stop thinking, to let the mind unspool like one of those scrolls, rolling out flat and smooth. The silence is absolute now. The waves outside are the only clock. The smell of the cedar wood is grounding. You are protected by the walls of wisdom. You are sheltered by the history of peace. Drift in this space, floating between the shelves, weightless. The heavy stone columns are carrying the roof so you don't have to carry anything. The archives of the world are sleeping. The mathematics are sleeping. The history is sleeping. And as the great hall of Alexandria settles into the comfort of the night, you feel your own thoughts slowing down, matching the stillness of the scrolls. Resting, waiting, being. We leave the library now, stepping softly so as not to disturb the silence, carrying this deep, ancient peace with us as we move to the next chapter of our journey, into the rooted minds of the ancient forests. Leave the cool stone halls of Alexandria behind now. The heavy cedar doors close softly behind you, sealing away the scrolls and the history of men. We are moving to a place older than books, older than stone columns. We are moving to a place where intelligence does not live in the head, but in the ground. Imagine you are stepping onto soft earth. The air changes instantly. It is no longer the salty, dry air of the Mediterranean. It is rich, damp, and fragrant. It smells of pine needles, of wet ferns, and of deep, dark soil that has been undisturbed for centuries. You are standing in the center of an ancient forest. Perhaps it is the mist-covered redwoods of the Pacific Northwest, or the deep green heart of the Appalachian Mountains. The location doesn't matter, only the age. These trees have been here since before the maps were drawn. Look up, way, way up. The canopy creates a cathedral ceiling of green lace, filtering the sunlight into soft, dappled patterns that shift across your face. It is quiet here, but it is not empty. There is a presence. You are standing in the middle of a crowd, but it is the most patient crowd in existence. We often think of intelligence as something that moves fast, lightning-fast synapses, quick wit, rapid calculations. But the trees know a different truth. They possess what we might call botanical intelligence. And the most relaxing fact about this intelligence is its speed. It is incredibly, beautifully slow. A tree does not react to the second. It reacts to the season. Reach out and place your palm against the rough bark of a massive oak tree. Feel the texture, the ridges and valleys of the wood. It feels solid, immovable. But beneath your hand, inside that trunk, there is a river flowing. It is the sap rising against gravity, carrying water and sugar from the roots to the sky. It moves silently. It moves without effort. There is a concept known as the wood wide web. Beneath your feet, under layers of soft moss and fallen leaves, lies one of the most complex communication networks on Earth. But unlike our internet, which screams with noise and urgency, this network is a whisper of sugar and chemistry. Imagine the roots of the tree you are touching. Visualize them pushing down into the dark, cool earth. They spread out like a mirror image of the branches above, twisting and turning, seeking stability. Down there, in the quiet dark, the roots of this tree meet the roots of its neighbors. They hold hands underground. Science tells us that trees socialize. Through a microscopic web of fungi, tiny silver threads that weave through the soil like a buried tapestry, the trees talk to one another. But they do not gossip. They do not argue. They care. If a tree on the far side of the forest is thirsty, the older trees, the mother trees, will sense the distress signal through the fungal network. Slowly, over the course of days, they will send their own excess water and nutrients through the roots, passing it along the chain to help the weaker tree. Think about the kindness of that intelligence. It is a community built on slow support. There is no competition here, only connection. As you stand in this forest, imagine slowing your own thoughts down to match the speed of a tree. A human thought flashes in a millisecond. A tree's thought, a decision to turn a leaf toward the sun or to deepen a root, might take hours or even weeks to fully form. What a relief that must be. Imagine if you didn't have to answer any questions right now. Imagine if you could take a whole day just to absorb a single drop of rain. Breathe in the scent of the forest again. That smell, the fresh, crisp scent of pine and loam, is actually a form of communication. The trees are releasing aerosols, chemical signals that tell the forest to relax, to grow, to breathe. When you inhale, you are physically breathing in the intelligence of the forest. It calms your nervous system. It lowers your cortisol. You are syncing with the woods. Let's walk deeper, stepping over the velvet green moss. The ground is soft and springy, cushioning your every step. You feel light. You feel supported. Consider the patience of the seed. A seed can lie dormant in the soil for 10, 20, even 50 years, waiting for the perfect moment to wake up. It doesn't worry about being late. It doesn't check the time. It waits for the right combination of rain and warmth, and only then does it unfurl. That is wisdom. Knowing that there is a right time for everything and that you cannot force the bloom.
You find a place to sit at the base of a giant sequoia. The roots here have risen above the ground, creating a natural cradle, a perfect curve for your back to rest against. You settle in. The bark is warm from the day's sun. You feel the sturdiness of the wood behind you. This tree has stood here through storms, through fires, through snows, and through silence. It is still here. It is anchoring you. Close your eyes. Can you feel the slow pulse of the forest? It's not a beat, it's a hum, a vibration of life that is so slow it feels like stillness. The trees are busy doing something very important, yet very passive. They are turning light into life. Photosynthesis. It is a silent miracle. Without moving a muscle, they drink the sunlight and turn it into the air you are breathing right now. Inhale. That oxygen was made for you by the leaves above. Exhale. Your breath is a gift back to them.
You are in a loop of reciprocity with the forest. You don't have to do anything to earn this connection. You just have to breathe. Under the ground, the communication continues. A slow pulse of energy travels from an ancient tree to a sapling. Here is sugar, it says. Here is strength. It is a lullaby sent through the soil. The rooted minds do not worry about the future. They are literally grounded. They are connected to the core of the earth. When the wind blows, the branches sway, dancing with the air, flexible and yielding. They know that to survive, one must not be rigid. One must flow. Visualize your own legs becoming heavy, like trunks. Imagine roots growing gently from the soles of your feet, pushing down through the floor, down through the foundation of the building you are in, and finding the cool, rich earth beneath. Down, 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 anchoring you. You are no longer a floating mind full of worries. You are a rooted being. You are stable. The winds of the world can blow, but they cannot knock you over, because your roots are deep. In this state of botanical slowness, problems that seemed huge begin to shrink. In the lifespan of a tree, 300, 400, 1,000 years, today's worry is nothing more than a passing cloud. The tree has seen 1,000,000 clouds. They always pass. The sun always returns. The light in the forest is dimming now. The golden hour is fading into the blue hour. The birds have quieted down. The squirrels have retreated to their nests. The forest is preparing for its own version of sleep. At night, trees actually relax their branches. Science has shown that they let their limbs droop slightly, letting go of the tension needed to hold them up toward the sun. They surrender to gravity. They let go. You can do that too. Let your limbs feel heavy. Let your arms rest by your side, heavy as branches. Let your head rest back. The intelligence of the forest is now entering the night mode. The focus shifts from gathering sunlight to drinking water, pulling moisture up from the deep earth to hydrate every cell. It is a time of restoration. Listen to the silence of the woods. It is a deep, layered silence. The wind rustling the leaves is like a long, slow shh, shh. The trees are standing guard around you. They are the sentinels of the night. You are small, and you are safe in their shadow. There is nothing for you to figure out here. The moss knows how to grow. The fern knows how to unfurl. The roots know where the water is. The universe is managing everything perfectly without your help. You can resign from the job of managing the world. You can just be another living thing in the forest. Feel the slow upward drift of the earth's energy rising into you, calm and steady. The slow thought of the forest has wrapped around you like a warm blanket of leaves. Deep within the soil, the silver threads of the fungi network are quieting down. The messages have been sent. The forest is connected. The forest is whole, and so are you. As the velvet darkness of the night settles over the canopy, we leave the trees to their slow, silent work. We drift away from the scent of pine and earth, carried on a gentle breeze, moving toward the sound of flowing water, toward the fluid intelligence of the eastern rivers. We leave the dense, rooted stillness of the forest now. We follow the moisture in the air, drifting away from the trees and toward the sound of a gentle melody. It is a sound that has been playing since the earth cooled, the sound of flowing water. We travel east now, across the vast continents, over the peaks of the Himalayas, descending into the misty valleys of ancient China. The year is shrouded in the mists of legend, perhaps the 6th century BCE. You find yourself standing on a riverbank in the Wudong Mountains. The air here is different. It is cool, crisp, and carries the scent of wet stone and green bamboo. The world around you looks like an ink-wash painting, tall limestone peaks rising into the clouds, their edges softened by the fog. In front of you flows a river. It is not a raging torrent. It is a wide, meandering ribbon of jade-green water. It moves with a quiet confidence. Sit down on the grassy bank. The ground is cool. Watch the water. In the Western world, we are often taught that intelligence is sharp, like a sword that cuts through confusion. But here in the East, the old sages knew a different truth. They looked at the river and saw the ultimate form of wisdom. They called it the Tao, and the Tao acts like water. There is an old man sitting further down the bank. His name is Lao Tzu. He is watching the river too. He wrote that the supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. Think about that for a moment. Without trying. This is the concept of Wu Wei, effortless action. Water never strains. It never struggles. When water meets an obstacle, a large gray boulder in the middle of the stream, it does not argue with the rock. It does not get angry. It does not try to smash through it with brute force. Instead, the water pauses. It yields. It simply flows around the rock, hugging its shape, finding the path of least resistance, and continuing on its journey. It accepts the obstacle, wraps it in a cool embrace, and moves past it. Tonight, imagine your thoughts are like that water, and your worries are just rocks. You do not need to smash the rocks. You do not need to move them. You simply need to flow around them. Let them sit there. You are the water, and you are moving on. Listen to the sound of the river. Burble, lap, flow. It is the sound of total acceptance. Water accepts the shape of whatever container it is in. If you pour water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you pour it into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. It is the most flexible thing in the universe. Can you make your mind flexible tonight? Can you stop holding your shape? Let your thoughts dissolve. Let the tension in your shoulders melt like ice turning into liquid. Water always seeks the lowest place. It is humble. It flows down, 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 into the valleys, into the deep basins. It rests where gravity takes it. Feel gravity taking you now. Feel your body seeking the lowest place, sinking deeper into your bed. You don't have to hold yourself up. The bed is the riverbed. You are the water. Just sink. Imagine you are stepping onto a small bamboo raft on this jade river. The raft is sturdy. You lie down on your back, looking up at the pale white sky. The raft pushes off gently from the shore. You are drifting.
There are no oars. You don't need to steer. The current knows where it is going. The river has been flowing to the sea for millions of years. It knows the way. You can trust it.
Until you are back to zero, a place of quiet beginning. The astronomers here built windows in this stone tower that aligned perfectly with the positions of the stars at specific times of the year. They built stone machines to track the silence of space. As you float downstream, you pass groves of bamboo. They creak softly in the wind. Creak, sway. The bamboo, too, knows the secret of water. It bends when the wind blows. It doesn't break. It survives because it is soft. In this ancient philosophy, the hard and stiff are associated with death, while the soft and yielding are the companions of life. To be rigid is to be brittle. To be soft is to be alive. Soften your forehead. Soften your hands. Let your fingers curl naturally, like curling waves. As you drift, notice how the water handles the turns in the river. It doesn't anticipate the turn. It doesn't worry about what is around the bend. It waits until it gets there, and then it turns. This is the fluid intelligence. It is the ability to be completely in the present moment. Water does not think about the waterfall that was miles back. It does not think about the ocean that is miles ahead. It is only here, touching this stone, reflecting this cloud. Look over the edge of your raft. The water is clear. You can see the smooth, round pebbles at the bottom. They are round because the water has caressed them for centuries. Water is patient. It is the most patient force on earth. Given enough time, the soft water will wear away the hard stone. Softness always wins in the end. Quiet persistence always wins. You don't need to force yourself to sleep. You just need to erode the wakefulness. Gently, softly, wave by wave. The river widens now. The current slows down. You are entering a wide, calm lake. The surface is like a mirror. Lao Tzu once asked, "Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear?" When we are stressed, our mind is like muddy water, swirling and opaque. But if you stop stirring it, if you just lie still, the mud settles to the bottom. The water becomes transparent. Visualize the mud in your mind settling. All the to-do lists, the conversations, the noise. Imagine it as heavy silt drifting down to the bottom of the lake, leaving your mind clear and still. The sun is setting over the mountains now. The sky turns a deep indigo. The moon rises, a perfect white circle. Look at the reflection of the moon on the surface of the lake. When the water is agitated, the moon is broken into shattered shards of light. But now, as the water becomes perfectly still, the reflection becomes whole. A perfect moon in the water. This is the goal of the Tao. Stillness, reflection, peace. You are floating in the center of this stillness. There is no separation between you and the water. You are fluid. Your breathing is like the tide. In, flowing up the shore. Out, receding back into the deep. In and out. Ebb and flow. There is a tremendous relief in being liquid. Liquids don't have edges. They don't have corners to bump into. They merge. You are merging with the night. The ancient Chinese scholars would sit by these rivers for hours, drinking tea and writing poetry, trying to capture this feeling. The feeling of not striving, the feeling of just being a part of the great flow of nature. They understood that you cannot push the river. It flows by itself. You cannot push sleep. It comes by itself. You are drifting further now into the velvet darkness. The only sound is the gentle lapping of water against the wood of your raft. It is a rhythmic, hypnotic sound. It sounds like a heartbeat, the heartbeat of the world. Let go of the shore. Let go of the need to control the direction. The river of the night is carrying you to a safe harbor. You are weightless. You are shapeless. You are free. As the current gently rotates your raft, you look up at the stars beginning to emerge in the indigo sky. They are not chaotic. They are part of a vast mathematical dance. And as we drift on this liquid mirror, we prepare to look up, to leave the water and turn our eyes to the heavens, to the clockwork of the Maya skies. From the fluid rivers of the east, we now lift our gaze. We let the water evaporate into the night air, rising up, up, until we are floating amongst the clouds. We drift across the vast Pacific Ocean, carried by the trade winds, until we descend into the warm, lush embrace of the Central American jungles. The year is 700 AD. We are in the heart of the Maya civilization. Beneath us lies the city of Chichen Itza, but the marketplaces are empty. The ball courts are silent. The only sound is the deep, rhythmic chorus of the jungle, the chirping of crickets and the croak of tree frogs, creating a wall of white noise that wraps around the world. We find ourselves standing atop a high stone platform. It is the El Caracol, the observatory. The stone beneath your feet is still warm, holding the heat of the tropical sun long after it has set. The air is heavy and humid, like a warm blanket draped over your shoulders, softening your muscles, inviting you to slow down. Here, in the dark, stood the greatest astronomers of the ancient world. But they did not look at the sky with fear. They looked at it with a sense of profound peace, because they knew something that we often forget. The universe is not chaotic. It is a clock. Look up. Above the dark canopy of the jungle, the sky is a sprawling ocean of obsidian, scattered with diamonds. The stars here are bright, burning with a steady, unblinking light. To the Maya, this was not just a view, it was a reassurance. They spent centuries, generations upon generations, watching these lights, and they discovered a secret that is the ultimate lullaby. Everything repeats. There is a deep comfort in predictability. Anxiety comes from not knowing what will happen next. But here, the day keepers, the Maya astronomers, knew exactly what would happen. They knew that Venus would rise in the west exactly 584 days after it set. Not a day sooner, not a day later. Imagine the relief of that precision. The universe is running on a schedule. You do not need to manage it. The planets are moving in perfect elliptical orbits. They are obeying laws of gravity and motion that are so strict, so perfect, that they have not faltered in billions of years. Think of the planet Venus, rising above the tree line. The Maya called it the Great Star. Watch it slowly climb the velvet sky. It moves with a dignity that ignores the rush of human life.
It doesn't hurry, it simply follows its path. There is a mathematical rhythm to the sky. Can you feel it? It's a slow, cosmic pulse. 1, 2, 3. The Maya invented a calendar of such complexity and accuracy that it spanned millions of years. They didn't just count days, they counted eras. They had a unit of time called the Baktun, a period of roughly 400 years. Imagine thinking in blocks of 400 years. When you think in that scale, the worries of your day, the email you didn't send, the awkward thing you said, become invisible. They dissolve into the vast, turning wheel of time. You are small, but you are part of a system that is immense and perfect. Visualize the Maya numbers. They were simple, grounding symbols. A dot for 1, a bar for 5, and for 0, a shell. The Maya were one of the first cultures to understand the concept of zero. But their zero wasn't just nothing. It was a symbol of completion, a symbol of potential. Imagine that shell glyph now, a spiral, smooth and closed. It represents the empty mind, the mind that has ceased to count, ceased to worry, the mind that is just zero, resting.
Tonight, let your mind become that shell. Let the numbers of the day fall away. Imagine standing in one of those stone windows now. You align your eye with the edge of the wall, and there it is, the Pleiades star cluster. 7 tiny sisters of light shimmering in the darkness. They are exactly where they are supposed to be. They have been there for the Maya. They are there for you. They will be there long after we are gone. There is a safety in that permanence. The sky is a roof that will never fall down. The long count calendar of the Maya moves forward like a great set of gears. Click, click, click. Imagine the sound of those gears. Not metallic or grinding, but soft, like heavy stones sliding against each other, oiled by time. The turning of the galaxy is the ultimate sleep machine. It rocks you. The Earth is rotating at 1,000 miles per hour, yet you feel nothing but stillness. That is how smooth the ride is. The Maya saw the Milky Way not just as stars, but as the Waka-chan, the world tree. They saw a giant, spectral tree stretching across the night sky, its roots in the south, its branches in the north. This tree holds up the heavens. You are resting beneath its branches. As you lie there, bathed in the starlight of the Yucatan, consider the mathematics of your own body. You are also a machine of nature. Your heart beats in a rhythm without you asking it to. Your lungs expand and contract in a mathematical ratio. Your body knows the time. It knows it is time to sleep. You are part of the clockwork. You don't have to wind yourself up. You can just let the gears take over. The Maya believed that time was circular, not linear. In a circle, there is no end, only a return. The sun sets, but it always rises. The moon wanes, but it always waxes. You get tired, but you always restore. Trust the circle. Feel the heavy, grounding presence of the stone temple beneath you. It was built using sacred geometry, squares and rectangles perfectly aligned to the cardinal points, north, south, east, west. You are oriented. You are not lost. You are located exactly where you need to be in the cosmos. As the night deepens, the constellation of Orion, the great hunter, begins his slow march across the zenith. The Maya saw him as a turtle with 3 stars on its back, a slow swimming turtle in the cosmic ocean. Visualize that turtle swimming through the black sky, slow, steady, ancient. Let your breathing match the movement of the stars. Inhale for the count of the moon. Exhale for the count of the sun. The numbers are swirling around you, but they are soft numbers. They are not demands, they are lullabies. The geometry of the universe is cradling you. Everything fits. There are no loose ends in the sky. The astronomer puts down his jade instruments. He has seen what he needs to see. The order is maintained. The chaos is an illusion. The structure is the reality. He leans back against the limestone wall and closes his eyes, confident that when he opens them, the world will still be there, turning precisely as predicted. You can have that same confidence. The math holds you up, the gravity holds you down. The cycle continues. And as we leave the calculated perfection of the Mayan jungle, the stars above us begin to rearrange themselves. We move forward in time, crossing the ocean once more, toward the dawn of a new era in Europe. We move from the math of the stars to the geometry of beauty, to the studio of a man who saw the golden thread connecting all things. We drift toward the golden ratio and the mind of Da Vinci. The cool, starlit jungle of the Maya fades into the distance. We travel forward through the corridors of time, crossing the great Atlantic, until we see the terracotta rooftops of Florence, Italy, glowing under the Tuscan sun. It is the height of the Renaissance. The year is 1500. The world is waking up to a new way of seeing, but for us, it is a time of settling down. We float through an open window into a high-ceilinged studio. The air here smells of crushed walnut oil, dried lavender, and old parchment. Dust motes dance in the slanted beams of afternoon light, moving in slow, lazy swirls. In the center of the room sits a man with a long, flowing beard. He is Leonardo da Vinci. He is not frantic. He is not rushing to finish a painting. He is sitting in a state of profound contemplation, staring at a simple flower he holds in his hand. He is looking for the secret of the universe, and he has found it. It is not a secret of chaos, but of perfect, soothing balance. He calls it the divina proporzione, the divine proportion. You might know it as the golden ratio. There is a number, 1.618, but you do not need any math tonight. You only need to feel the shape of it. It is the shape of a spiral that unwinds forever, getting wider and wider, but never losing its proportion. It is the most relaxing shape in existence because your brain does not have to work to understand it. When you look at something built with this ratio, your mind instinctively sighs in relief. It says, "This fits. This belongs." Imagine Da Vinci sketching on a sheet of textured paper. The scratch of his red chalk is a soft, rhythmic sound. Scritch, hush, scritch, hush. He is drawing a nautilus shell. Visualize that shell in your mind. Start at the very center, a tiny, tight curl.
Then slowly follow the line as it curves outward, growing larger, expanding with a perfect, predictable grace. It doesn't jerk, it doesn't turn at a sharp angle, it flows. This is the geometry of peace. Da Vinci understood that nature is not random. Nature is an artist that follows a strict code of harmony. The way a fern unfurls in the forest, that is the golden ratio. The way the seeds are arranged in the center of a sunflower, that is the golden ratio. Even the shape of a hurricane or the spiral of a galaxy, it is all the same pattern. Think about how comforting that is. From the tiniest shell on the beach to the swirling stars above, the same rule applies. Everything is connected by this single beautiful thread of logic. In this studio, surrounded by sketches of anatomy and architecture, we realize that beauty is just another word for balance. Leonardo looks at his own hand. He realizes that the bones in his fingers are related to each other by this same ratio. The length of your hand compared to your forearm, the golden ratio. The distance from your hairline to your eyes compared to the rest of your face. It is all there. You are not a random collection of parts. You are a masterpiece of geometry. You were designed with the same care as the stars and the flowers. You fit into this universe perfectly.
Relax your hands now. Feel the bones, the muscles, the skin. They are built on a blueprint of harmony. You don't have to force yourself to be balanced. You are balanced. It is written in your DNA. Da Vinci picks up a brush and turns to a canvas. He is painting a horizon. He places the line of the earth exactly where the golden ratio suggests it should be. And suddenly, the painting feels stable. It feels grounded. When we look at his work, perhaps the Mona Lisa, we feel a strange sense of calm. Her smile, the placement of her eyes, the winding river in the background, it is all mapped out to soothe the human eye. He engineered peace into the paint. Imagine you are sitting in the corner of his studio, watching him work. The world outside is bustling with merchants and noise, but inside this room, there is only the slow pursuit of perfection. The concept of the golden ratio suggests that there is a right place for everything. When things are in their right place, tension disappears. Think of your thoughts right now. Imagine applying the golden ratio to them. Organize them into a spiral. The big, heavy thoughts are on the outside, far away, drifting off. The quiet, small center thoughts are in the middle, where you are. You are at the calm center of the spiral. The storm can swirl around you, but the center is still. Da Vinci wrote in his notebooks backwards, a mirror script. It was his way of turning inward, of keeping his world private and contained. Tonight, you can do the same. Turn your senses inward. The outer world does not matter. Only the inner geometry matters. The light in the studio is changing. The bright gold of the afternoon is deepening into the amber of the evening. The shadows in the corners of the room are softening. Leonardo sets down his brush. He wipes his hands on a cloth. He is done for the day. He knows that he cannot force the art. He has to let it emerge, just like the flower. There is a lesson here for sleep. You cannot force sleep. You cannot build it with will. You have to let it unfurl. You have to let the spiral of the night take you. Follow the curve. round and round, deeper and deeper. The golden ratio is often called phi. It sounds like a breath. Phi. Say it silently in your mind, a soft release of air. The beauty of this Renaissance intelligence is that it didn't see science and magic as different things. They believed that studying the world was a way of loving it. By understanding the geometry of a leaf, you were appreciating its existence. Appreciate your own existence right now. Just the weight of your body on the mattress, the geometry of your spine resting, the symmetry of your lungs filling and emptying. You are a part of the great design. There is no mistake in you. There is no chaos in your core. Only the golden ratio. Only peace. As the sun dips below the Tuscan hills, the studio fills with the blue twilight. The sketches on the table become dim shapes. The nautilus shell on the desk gleams softly in the fading light, a silent testament to the order of the world. Leonardo closes his eyes. He trusts the spiral. He trusts that the night will bring what is needed. And now we too follow the spiral. We drift away from the land, away from the geometry of the earth, and we sink lower, deeper, moving toward the vast, resonant blue of the ocean. We are going to meet a different kind of intelligence, not one of math and stone, but one of song and sea. We descend to meet the ancient memory of the blue whale. We leave the golden light of Italy behind. We leave the solid ground, the stone buildings, and the geometry of men. We travel now to the edge of the land where the sand turns to water and the water turns to mystery. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine slipping beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean. The noise of the air, the wind, the birds, the voices instantly vanishes. It is replaced by a muffled, heavy quiet. You are weightless now. The gravity that has pulled at your muscles all day gently lets go. You are held. You are suspended. You are floating in a world that is not blue, but a deep, endless indigo. Down here, intelligence takes a different shape. It is not written in books or drawn on canvas. It is song. We are entering the domain of the blue whale, the largest mind to ever exist on our planet. Visualize a shape emerging from the gloom. It is massive, yet it moves with the grace of a cloud drifting across the sky. A blue whale, 100 feet of living history. It glides past you, its skin a mottled slate blue, glowing faintly in the filtered light from above. Everything about the whale is slow. To be this big, you cannot rush. Its heart, a magnificent engine the size of a small car, beats only a few times a minute. Thump, thump, thump. Can you imagine a life that calm, where your heart only needs to beat 5 or 6 times while the rest of the world rushes by? Try to slow your heart down to match the whale. There is no hurry here in the deep. The whale is traveling. It is following a map that isn't written on paper. It is written in its blood. This is ancestral memory. Before there were compasses, before there were satellites, the whales knew the way. For millions of years, mothers have taught their calves the secret roads of the ocean, the underwater mountain ranges, the thermal currents, the feeding grounds. They don't need to think about where they are going. They feel the magnetic pull of the earth. They trust the water. You can trust the drift tonight.
You don't need to know where you are going in your dreams. Your mind knows the way. It has an ancestral memory of sleep. It knows how to shut down. Just follow the whale. As the giant passes, you see its eye. It is the size of a grapefruit, dark and soulful. It looks at you with a peaceful indifference. It has seen the oceans rise and fall. It has seen ice ages come and go. It knows that patience is the only true power. And then the song begins. It is not a song you hear with your ears. It is a song you feel in your chest. It is a vibration, a low, resonant hum that travels through the water, through the skin, and settles deep in your bones. Om. The blue whale speaks an infrasound, frequencies so low that humans often cannot hear them. These sounds are not meant for short conversations. They are meant to cross the world. A single call from a blue whale can travel for thousands of miles through the deep ocean channels. A whale off the coast of California can whisper to a whale off the coast of Hawaii. Think about the intelligence of that connection. We often feel lonely when we are in the dark, but in the ocean, no one is ever truly alone. The water is a conductor. It carries the message, I am here, I am swimming, all is well. The ocean is a vast, silent chat room of comfort. The whale's song is slow. One note can last for 30 seconds. It is a long, stretching sound, like a cello being played in slow motion. It is the soundtrack of the abyss. Listen to the silence between the notes. The whale is not afraid of silence. It waits, it listens for the echo. In the deep ocean, there is a phenomenon known as marine snow. Tiny organic particles that drift down from the surface like falling snow. White flakes in the eternal twilight. It falls endlessly, soft and silent, blanketing the ocean floor. Visualize that slow, drifting snow. It is hypnotic. It creates a sense of time standing still. You are drifting with the whale now. Your arms and legs are trailing loosely in the current. The water supports you completely. It presses against you like a heavy weighted blanket, tucking you in. The pressure is not crushing, it is hugging. It holds you together. The whale gently angles its body upward. It is time to breathe. But even this is done slowly. It breaks the surface, whoosh! A plume of mist rises into the air. It takes a deep, life-affirming breath, and then it sinks again.
The sounding. That is what sailors call it when a whale dives. The great tail flukes rise up, silhouetted against the faint light, and then slip silently under the water without a splash. Down, down, down. Into the bathopelagic zone, the midnight zone. Here, the water is cold and still. There are no storms here. The waves crashing on the surface are miles above. Whatever storms are happening in your life right now, whatever stress, whatever noise, that is all on the surface. Deep down, where you are now, the water is still. The whale hangs suspended in the dark. It is sleeping. Did you know whales can sleep while they swim? They shut down half their brain at a time, allowing them to rest while still moving gently through the void. They are always half in the dream world. Tonight, you can do the same. You can let parts of your mind turn off. You don't need all the lights on. Shut down the part that plans. Shut down the part that worries. Shut down the part that counts time. Leave only the part that floats. The ancestral memory of the whale tells it that the spring will come, the krill will return. The cycle is unbreakable. There is no need to anxiety. The ocean provides. Feel the vastness of the space around you. Thousands of miles of open water. To some, this might seem scary, but to the whale and to you right now, it is freedom. There are no walls. There are no deadlines. There is just the infinite blue, gentle flow. The song vibrates one last time, a low purr that fades into the darkness. It is a lullaby that has been sung for 50 million years. Before humans walked upright, this song was lulling the ocean to sleep. You are joining a very ancient tradition of rest. The giant shape fades into the shadows. You are alone, but you are not lonely. You are swaddled in the intelligence of the water. Cool, heavy, deep. You are drifting on a current that is taking you to a new shore. We are leaving the liquid world now, slowly rising from the depths, moving toward a quiet coastline in England. We are moving from the swimming giants to a walking thinker. We are going to step onto a path of sand and gravel to walk alongside a man who understood the slowness of life better than anyone. We drift toward the thinking path and Darwin's sandwalk. We leave the deep blue silence of the ocean now. We float upwards, breaking the surface, and let the salt water wash away. We are lifted by a gentle wind, carrying us across the globe until we see the rolling green hills of Kent, England. It is the mid-19th century. The air here smells of rain, wet wool, and damp earth. It is a grounding smell, a smell that brings you back to center. We descend into a quiet garden behind a large square brick house. This is Down House, and living here is a man who changed how we see the world, not by shouting, but by whispering, not by running, but by walking. Charles Darwin. He is an old man now. He wears a heavy tweed coat and a wide-brimmed hat to shield his eyes from the pale English sun. He is stepping out the back door, heading toward a small wooden gate that leads to a strip of land he calls the Sandwalk. Come with him. Let's go for a walk. The Sandwalk is a simple path. It loops around a small patch of woods, lined with hazel and birch trees. The ground is covered in sand and gravel. It is his thinking path. Darwin did not believe in fast intelligence. He didn't trust the sudden flash of eureka. He didn't trust the quick answer. He believed that the truth was something you had to wait for. The truth was something that revealed itself only if you were quiet enough for long enough. Listen to the sound of his boots on the gravel. Crunch, step, crunch, step. It is a steady, rhythmic sound. It is the sound of a mind slowing down to the speed of nature. Darwin would walk this path every day, 5 times, 10 times, sometimes 20 times. He had a peculiar relaxing habit. At the start of the path, he would set up a row of small flint stones. Every time he completed a lap, he would kick one stone away. Click, 1 lap done. Click, 2 laps done. He wasn't counting time. He was counting thoughts. He was letting his mind unwind, loop by loop. Imagine walking behind him. The path is shaded by the trees on one side and open to the meadows on the other.
You can see the tall grass swaying in the breeze. The light here is dappled, shifting patterns of sun and shade on the ground. There is no rush on the sandwalk. If Darwin saw a beetle on a leaf, he would stop. He would stand perfectly still, leaning on his walking stick, and just watch. He might watch for 10 minutes. He might watch for an hour. This is the art of patience. In our world, we feel guilty if we are not moving fast. We feel like we are wasting time if we are just standing still. But Darwin knew that stillness is where the work happens. He knew that nature is never in a hurry. Think about the theory he is famous for, evolution. It is the slowest story ever told. It is a story that takes millions of years to write. A finch's beak changing shape by a millimeter? That takes 10,000 years. A flower learning how to attract a specific bee? That takes an age. Darwin found comfort in that slowness. He looked at the world and saw that nothing happens overnight. Great things, lasting things, take time. Apply that to yourself tonight. You are trying to sleep. You are trying to heal. You are trying to find an answer to a problem in your life. Do not force it. Do not try to evolve in a second. Walk the path. Crunch, step. Crunch, step. Let your thoughts match the rhythm of the walk, one foot in front of the other. Darwin once spent years, literally years, studying earthworms. He put a pot of worms on his piano to see if they could hear music. He watched them pull leaves into the soil. He was fascinated by the humblest, quietest creatures on earth. He understood that the tiny, slow actions of worms create the soil that feeds the world. Small, slow actions create great changes. Just as your slow, deep breaths right now are creating a change in your body. You might not feel it instantly, but with every breath, you are changing your chemistry. You are lowering your blood pressure. You are soothing your mind. You are evolving into a sleeper. The wind rustles the hazel leaves above you. Shh. The English countryside is a masterpiece of quiet. A sheik bleats in the distance. A robin sings a short, trilling song from a hedge. But mostly, it is just the wind and the footsteps. As Darwin walks, he is not stressing about his work. He is letting his mind drift. He called it mental digestion. He knew that the brain needs to chew on things. You can't swallow the world whole. You have to walk it out.
If a worry comes into your mind while you are on this path, imagine it is just a small flintstone. Look at it, acknowledge it, and then, as you pass it, kick it gently aside. Leave it on the path. You can pick it up tomorrow if you want, but for now, it stays behind. You are moving forward. The shadows are getting longer now. The sun is dipping behind the rolling hills, turning the sky a pale watercolor violet. The air is getting cooler, fresher. Darwin pulls his coat tighter. He likes the cold air. It clears the head. He reaches the turn of the path, the turn again. He pivots slowly and starts the walk back. There is a profound relief in repetition, doing the same thing the same way. It tells the brain that there is no danger. There are no surprises on the sandwalk. You know every root, you know every stone. You are safe to let your guard down. The thinking path is not about being smart. It is about being present. It is about understanding that you are part of a tangled bank of life, connected to the birds, the worms, the trees, and the air. You don't have to be the CEO of nature, you just have to be a creature within it. Darwin stops one last time. He looks at a vine spiraling up a tree trunk. He notices how it curls to the right, always to the right. It doesn't struggle to climb, it just grows, slowly, inch by inch. He smiles. He understands. He kicks the last flintstone aside. The day's thinking is done. The questions haven't all been answered, and that is okay. They will be there tomorrow. The earth will keep spinning. The worms will keep working. The evolution will continue while he sleeps. He turns toward the house. The windows of Down House are glowing with the warm orange light of oil lamps, a sanctuary of rest. We follow him to the door. We watch him scrape the mud from his boots. We watch him step inside and close the door, shutting out the cool night air. The garden is left to the silence. The sandwalk is empty now, but the path remains. It is waiting for you whenever you need to walk it. But for now, the walking is done. The feet are still. The boots are off. We leave the English garden settling into the night. We drift away from the scent of damp earth and move towards something older, something made of stone and light. We travel south, across the Channel, to the great cities of Europe, where the intelligence of the past reached for the sky. We drift toward the sacred silence of the Gothic cathedrals. We leave the quiet garden path in England now. We let the scent of the damp earth fade as we rise, drifting south across the dark Channel into the heart of France. The year is 1250. The world is lit only by fire and stars. We are approaching a town that is sleeping, but rising from the center of the clustered wooden houses is a shadow that blocks out the sky. It is a mountain made by human hands. It is the Cathedral of Chartres, or perhaps Notre Dame, or Cologne. It is the archetype of the Gothic sanctuary. Stand before it for a moment in the moonlight. It is immense. It is a cliff face of carved stone, rising hundreds of feet into the air. In the modern world, we are used to tall buildings made of glass and steel that sway in the wind. But this is different. This is stone. It does not sway. It does not vibrate. It is the definition of stillness. Walk toward the massive wooden doors. They are made of oak, darkened by centuries of rain and sun, reinforced with iron straps. They look like they could hold back the tide. Push one open. It is heavy, but it swings inward on well-oiled hinges with a deep, low groan that echoes into the dark. Cree, thud. You step inside. The first thing that hits you is the silence. It is not the silence of an empty room. It is the silence of a held breath. It is a silence that has been gathering here for 800 years. The air inside is cool and still. It smells of beeswax candles that burned out hours ago, of frankincense that has settled into the cracks of the floor, and of the cold, mineral scent of limestone. Walk slowly down the center of the nave. Your footsteps make a soft sound that travels up, 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 and disappears into the darkness above. This building is an act of intelligence frozen in time. The architects who built this didn't have computers. They didn't have calculators. They had geometry. They understood that if you curve a stone just right, if you create a pointed arch, you can channel the weight of the roof down into the ground, allowing the walls to rise higher and higher. Look up. You cannot see the ceiling. It is lost in the shadows. But you know it is there. The vault. The stone ribs curve over your head like the branches of a petrified forest, locking together to keep you safe. This is structural intelligence. It is the wisdom of balance.
The flying buttresses outside are like giant stone arms, holding the walls up, pushing back against gravity. The tension is perfect. The balance is absolute. Because the building is doing all the work, you don't have to. The cathedral is carrying the weight of the world so you can let go of yours. Feel the solidity of the flagstones beneath your feet. They are uneven, worn smooth by millions of pilgrims who have walked here before you. They came here looking for peace. They found it. And now you are standing in their footsteps. You find a wooden pew near the center of the vast space. The wood is polished and smooth. You sit down. You lean back. You are a tiny speck in this cavern of stone, and that is a comforting feeling. You are sheltered. Now look at the windows. It is night, so the stained glass is not blazing with sunlight. Instead, it is glowing with a faint, ghostly luminescence. The moonlight outside is pressing against the glass. The Gothic architects believed that light was the closest thing to the divine. They built these walls of glass to trap the light, to tame it, to turn it into a story. Look at the great rose window high above the entrance. Even in the dark, you can see the faint outline of the blues and reds. Cobalt, ruby, emerald. These aren't just colors. They are jewels suspended in the night. The glass is intelligent too. It is an amorphous solid, a material that is somewhere between a liquid and a solid. Over centuries, the glass flows, settling imperceptibly. It is fluid, just like the time here. Watch the starlight filtering through the blue glass. It casts a soft indigo haze on the stone floor. It is a lullaby of light. There is no glare here, no harsh screens, only the softest, most filtered photons making their way from the moon to your retina. It soothes the optic nerve. It tells the brain, the day is over, the sun is gone. Rest. Listen to the acoustics of the cathedral. These spaces were designed to make the human voice sound like angels. A single note sung here lasts for seconds, floating in the air, enriching itself. Imagine humming a low note. Mmm. Visualize that sound traveling up the stone columns, curling around the arches, hanging in the vast empty space, and slowly, slowly fading into silence. The silence here is protective. The walls are 6 feet thick. The noise of the city, the traffic, the demands of tomorrow, they cannot penetrate these walls. You are in a fortress of solitude. The gargoyles outside, those strange carved creatures perched on the gutters, are the guardians. They are watching the skyline, so you don't have to. They are scaring away the bad dreams. They have been on watch for 1,000 years, and they are not tired. You can sleep. They will keep watch. Feel the sheer age of the stone. Limestone is made of ancient seashells compressed under the ocean for aeons before it was quarried and brought here. You are surrounded by the history of the earth. In this space, time does not tick. It flows. The cathedral lives in deep time. To a building like this, a human life is just a heartbeat. Your worries are just a flicker of dust.
Let that perspective wash over you. The problem that kept you awake an hour ago? In the presence of this 800-year-old stone, it feels small. It feels manageable. The stone has seen wars, plagues, kings, and revolutions, and it is still standing. It is still quiet. You are durable too. You have survived every hard day you have ever had. You are like the stone. The atmosphere is so heavy, so rich with peace, that your eyelids feel weighted. The darkness in the corners of the cathedral is not scary. It is velvety. It is a blanket. You could curl up right here on the wooden bench, wrapped in your coat, and sleep for 100 years. Sleeping Beauty didn't sleep in a bed. She slept in a castle, surrounded by stone and silence. The sacred silence is entering you now. It is quieting the internal chatter. The high vaulted ceiling gives your thoughts room to rise up and float away, leaving your mind empty and spacious. The moonlight shifts slightly across the floor. The earth is turning. The cathedral is traveling through space, a great stone ship sailing through the night. You are a passenger on the ship. Rest in the shadow of the pillars. Rest in the glow of the ancient glass. The intelligence of the builders holds you up. The intelligence of the light calms you down. And as the stone walls guard your rest, we drift away from the grand scale of the cathedral. We move from the vast to the intimate. We leave the public sanctuary and move toward a private one. We move from the cold stone to the warm glow of a single flame. We drift toward a desk, a quill, and the quiet scratch of a pen, to the night owl's manuscript. We leave the high vaulted ceilings of the cathedral now. We step out of the heavy stone doors and into the night air, but we do not stay outside. We travel forward in time, crossing the English Channel back to the cobblestone streets of London. The year is 1885. It is the Victorian era. A thick fog curls through the streets, muffling the sound of the city. But we are not in the cold. We are passing through a heavy oak door into a warm, dry house. We walk down a hallway lined with books and enter a small study. The door clicks shut behind us, sealing out the world. This is the sanctuary of the night owl. In the 21st century, we are told that being awake at night is a problem. We call it insomnia. But in this era, the night was seen as a time of creative magic, a time when the demands of the day were finished and the mind could finally wander. The room is dark, except for a single pool of golden light on a mahogany desk. Walk over to it. There is a beeswax candle burning in a brass holder. Watch the flame. It doesn't flicker wildly. It stands tall and steady, a teardrop of fire. It creates a circle of visibility. Inside the circle, there is clarity. Outside the circle, the room fades into soft, comforting shadow. This is the intelligence of focus. You don't need to see the whole room. You don't need to see the whole week ahead of you. You only need to see the page in front of you. Sit down in the velvet chair. It is soft, worn, and all the right places. It holds you. On the desk lies a sheet of heavy cream-colored parchment. Next to it, a bottle of black ink and a quill pen. In our modern world, communication is instant. We tap a glass screen and a message flies around the world in a millisecond. We expect an answer immediately. That creates tension. That creates a now that never ends. But here, by candlelight, communication is an art form. It is slow. Pick up the pen. Feel the texture of the feather against your fingertips. It is organic. It is light. Dip the nib into the inkwell. Clink. That sound, the gentle glass-on-glass tap, is a punctuation mark in time. Watch the black ink soak into the nib. It is liquid thought. It is waiting to flow. Bring the pen to the paper. Scritch, scratch, swirl. Listen to that sound. It is one of the most relaxing sounds in history. The friction of the metal nib on the gruff paper. It is a tactile, gritty, real sound. It anchors you in the moment. Writing by hand is a different kind of intelligence. You cannot delete. You cannot backspace. This forces you to slow down.
You must think the sentence through before you commit it to the page. You must breathe. Imagine you are writing a letter to a friend who lives far away. You are not asking for anything. You are just sharing the quiet of your night. Dear friend, the rain is tapping against the window. Visualize the loops of the cursive letters, the Y tails curling under the line like sleeping cats, the T crosses cutting through the air like tiny swords. The ink glistens, wet and shiny, for a moment before it dries into the paper. This is the slow social network. When you finish this letter, you will fold it, you will seal it, you will walk it to a post box. It will travel on a steam train. It might take 3 days to arrive. It might take a week. There is such a relief in that delay. You are not waiting for a notification ping. You have sent your thoughts away, and now you are free. You have done your part. The rest is up to the postman and the train. There is a specific kind of silence in a house when everyone else is asleep. Can you hear it? The floorboards settle with a soft creak. The clock on the mantelpiece ticks with a slow, heavy pendulum. Tick, tock, tick, tock. It is the heartbeat of the house. The candle burns lower. The smell of the hot wax mixes with the smell of the old books on the shelves. It is a scent of dust and vanilla, the smell of stories that have already been told. Being a night owl is not about struggling to sleep. It is about enjoying the solitude. It is the only time of day when no one wants anything from you. The boss is asleep. The family is asleep. The world has stopped spinning for a few hours. This time belongs to you. The Victorians believed in the reverie, a state of daydreaming, staring into the candle flame and letting the mind float. Not thinking about something, just thinking. Watch the melted wax drip down the side of the candle. It moves like a slow tear, hardening as it falls. It changes from liquid to solid, just as your thoughts are changing from active to still. You put the pen down. Clink. The letter is finished. You don't need to write anymore. The manuscript of the day is complete. You can close the book. There is a stick of red sealing wax on the desk. You hold it over the flame. It softens. You press it onto the folded paper. Squelch. You press your seal into the hot wax. It is sealed. The day is sealed. You cannot change it now, and you don't need to. It is safe in the past. The light in the room is warm and amber. It softens the edges of everything. It makes your hands look soft. It makes the world look kind. You lean back in the chair. Your eyes are feeling heavy. The act of focusing on the script has tired them in a good way. The micro movements of the handwriting have released the tension in your mind. You reach out to the candle. You don't blow it out violently. You use a small metal snuffer. You lower it over the flame. Poof.
The light vanishes. For a second, a thin ribbon of gray smoke rises into the dark, carrying the scent of extinguished fire. Now you are in the velvet dark. But you know where the door is. You know where the bed is. You move through the dark with the confidence of the night owl. The room is still. The ink is drying. The thoughts are resting. You have moved from the active creation of the letter to the passive acceptance of the dark. The effort is over. And as we leave the cozy, ink-stained study of London, we drift further east again. We move away from the intellect of words and logic. We move toward a philosophy that tells us that the highest form of intelligence is not doing anything at all. We drift toward the concept of Wu Wei, the ancient art of effortless action. The candle in the Victorian study has been extinguished. The smoke has cleared. We leave the world of ink, paper and words behind. We drift once more, moving east, following the sunrise, until we reach the mist-shrouded peaks of ancient Asia, moving between the philosophies of Taoism and Zen. We find ourselves in a quiet valley at the foot of a moss-covered mountain. The air here is different. It is not heavy with history. It is light with presence. It smells of damp stone, green bamboo, and clean, cold mountain water. We are here to learn the secret of Wu Wei. In the West and in our modern lives, we are taught that intelligence is an act of force. We are taught to conquer problems, to attack our to-do lists, to seize the day. We think that if we want something, even sleep, we must grab it with both hands and pull it toward us. But here, in the shadow of the mountain, the wise ones know that this is wrong. They know that the harder you try to catch the wind, the faster it slips through your fingers. Wu Wei translates roughly to non-doing or effortless action. But it does not mean doing nothing. It means doing nothing against the grain. It means acting without friction. It means moving with the current of the universe rather than trying to swim upstream. Imagine a gardener in this valley. He is raking the white sand of a Zen rock garden. Watch him. He is not straining. His shoulders are loose. He is not gripping the rake tight. He is holding it gently as if it were a bird. When he pulls the rake through the sand, he is not fighting the resistance of the earth. He is leaning back, letting gravity do the work. Swish, swish, swish. The lines in the sand are perfect circles. They are perfect because he is not trying to be perfect. He is simply breathing and moving. The rake, the sand, and the man are one single motion. This is the intelligence of the flow state. Think about your own attempt to sleep tonight. Are you trying? Are you checking the clock, calculating the hours, adjusting the pillow, commanding your brain to shut off? Wu Wei asks you to stop rowing. Imagine you are in a small wooden boat in the middle of a wide, gentle river. All day long you have been rowing upstream. You have been fighting the current, trying to get somewhere, trying to reach a goal, trying to be productive. Your arms are tired, your mind is tired. Now imagine that you simply lift the oars out of the water. You bring them into the boat, you lay them down. What happens? At first, you might feel a moment of panic. I am losing control, you think. But then you feel the boat turn. The water catches the hull, and slowly, smoothly, the river takes you. You are moving now, but you are not doing the moving. The river is doing it for you. You are traveling faster than you were when you were rowing, but you are using zero energy. This is the feeling of falling asleep. Sleep is a river. You cannot force yourself into it. You can only lift the oars and let the current take you. Look at the willow tree growing on the riverbank. Its branches hang down, long and flexible, dipping into the water. When a storm comes, the rigid oak tree might crack because it tries to stand tall against the wind. But the willow tree, it survives. It yields, it bends with the wind. It accepts the storm, and because it accepts, it remains unbroken. Be the willow tonight. Do not be the oak. If a thought comes, a worry, a memory, a plan, do not stand rigid against it. Do not say, I must not think this. That is force. Instead, bend. Let the thought blow through your branches. Let it pass, and then gently return to your center. The concept of Wu Wei suggests that the universe is intelligent enough to run itself. The planets spin without you pushing them. The seasons change without you managing them. Your heart beats without you reminding it. You can resign as the general manager of the universe for the night. The shift is over. Feel the tension leaving your jaw. That tension is way. It is doing. It is effort. Let your jaw drop. That is Wu Wei. That is gravity. Feel the tension in your shoulders, holding them up toward your ears. Let them drop. Let the bed catch them. You don't have to hold yourself up. The earth is holding you. There is a story of a drunken man who falls from a cart but is unhurt because he is loose. He didn't tense up before he hit the ground. He flowed with the fall. We are not drunk, but we can learn from this looseness. We can be soft. Softness is the ultimate strength. Water is soft, but it cuts through rock. Visualize a block of wood. The Taoists speak of the pu, the uncarved block. It is wood in its natural state. It hasn't been cut into a shape. It hasn't been named. It just is. Tonight, return to being an uncarved block. You are not an employee. You are not a parent. You are not a student. You are not a success or a failure. You are just a being, pure potential, resting. The mist in the valley is thickening now. It softens the edges of the world. You can no longer see the mountain clearly. You can no longer see the other side of the river. The world is dissolving into white, soft nothingness. This is a good thing. The details are disappearing. Listen to the sound of the shishi odoshi in the garden, the bamboo deer scarer. A small bamboo tube fills with water. Drip, drip, drip. It becomes heavy. It tips over. Clack. It empties. It returns to its place. Fill, tip, empty, return. It is a cycle of emptiness and fullness. Your mind empties, and that is natural. Do not be afraid of the empty mind. The empty room is the one that can be furnished with dreams. The intelligence of Wu Wei whispers to you, it is okay to be lazy tonight. It is okay to be slow. There is no prize for waking up fast. There is no prize for sleeping hard. There is only the gentle drift. You are floating downstream now. The scenery is passing by, but you aren't looking at it. You are lying in the bottom of the boat watching the clouds. The current is strong and deep. It is carrying you toward the ocean of deep sleep. You trust the river. The river knows where the ocean is. Your breathing has become Wu Wei breathing. You are not pulling the air in. You are just creating space and the air flows in to fill it. It is effortless. In and out, like the tide. The struggle is over. The oars are down. The boat is drifting. The willow is bending. And as you float in this state of total surrender, we prepare to make one final journey. We are not going to a new country. We are not going to a new time. We are going inward. We are going in to shrink down, smaller and smaller, to witness the quiet, automatic intelligence that lives inside your own skin. We drift toward the internal universe and the quiet intelligence of your sleeping cells. We have traveled far tonight. We have walked the stone halls of ancient libraries, floated in the deep ocean, and drifted down the rivers of the East. But for this next part of our journey, we do not need to go anywhere. We do not need to move a single muscle. In fact, the stillness is the destination. We are turning the lens inward. We are shrinking down, 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 passing through the surface of the skin to visit the most sophisticated, ancient, and caring intelligence of all, the one that lives inside you. You are a universe. It is easy to forget this as we go about our days, looking at screens and traffic. But right now, as you lie in the dark, you are a galaxy. You are made of 37 trillion cells, and every single one of them knows exactly what time it is. They know it is time to rest. While your conscious mind, that busy, chattering part of you, gets ready to sleep, the night shift of your body is just waking up. This is not a noisy factory. It is a silent, bioluminescent sanctuary of repair. Focus for a moment on your breathing. Inhale, exhale. You didn't have to tell your lungs to do that. You didn't have to send a memo to your diaphragm. It happened automatically. This is the autonomic intelligence. It has been with you since the second you were born, and it will be with you until the very end. It never sleeps, so that you can. Think of the relief in that. You don't have to keep your heart beating. You don't have to manage your blood pressure. You don't have to digest your food. There is a silent, loving force within you that handles all the logistics. You are being taken care of from the inside out. Visualize the microscopic world within your muscles. Maybe your legs feel heavy tonight. That heaviness is good. It means the cells are letting go of the tension of the day. Deep inside the fibers of your muscles, tiny teams of proteins are getting to work. They are the carpenters of the body. They are patching up the microscopic tears, smoothing out the rough edges, rebuilding you stronger than you were this morning. They work in perfect rhythm, a silent weaving of strength. Stitch, smooth, rest. Now bring your attention to your brain. This is where the magic of sleep truly happens. For a long time, we thought the brain just shut off at night. But we know now that it does something beautiful. When you enter deep sleep, the spaces between your brain cells actually open up. They widen just a fraction. And then a clear, cool fluid washes through. Imagine a gentle tide washing over a beach at night, smoothing the sand, washing away the footprints, carrying away the debris. This is what is happening in your mind right now. The glymphatic system is washing away the toxins, the stress chemicals, the noise of the day. It is a literal brainwash. It is clearing the slate. All the memories you need, the smile of a friend, the warmth of the sun, the things you learned, are being carefully filed away into long-term storage. The things you don't need, the worry, the traffic, the awkward moment, are being washed away. You are being purified. Go deeper now, down to the very center of the cell, into the nucleus. Here lies the DNA, the double helix, the library of you. This connects us back to the Library of Alexandria, but this library is far older. At night, special enzymes, let's call them the librarians, move along the strands of your DNA. They are checking for errors. They are fixing typos. They are repairing the code of life itself. If there was damage from the sun, or from stress, or from pollution, these tiny, intelligent workers are finding it and healing it. They are knitting you back together at a molecular level. This is the quiet intelligence. It doesn't ask for credit. It doesn't ask for payment. It just works, silently, faithfully, ensuring that when you open your eyes tomorrow, you are renewed. You are literally not the same person who laid down an hour ago. You are healing. Feel the skin on your face. It feels cool and relaxed. Your skin cells are dividing and renewing right now, shedding the old to make way for the new. You are a self-regenerating being. There is a profound safety in trusting your body. We often fight our bodies, criticize them, or ignore them. But tonight, let's offer them only gratitude. Your immune system is patrolling the quiet corridors of your veins. White blood cells are drifting like silent sentinels, watching over the kingdom while the king or queen sleeps. They are your personal guard. You are safe. Let your focus drift to your stomach, your digestion. The rest and digest system is online. The fire of the day has cooled down. The energy is moving to the core. It is a warm, glowing ember in the center of your body. All of this is happening without your permission. It is happening because life wants you to thrive. The universe wants you to be healthy. So you can resign. You can step down from the control tower. The autopilot is engaged, and the autopilot is a genius. Feel the bed supporting your spine. Your spine is the antenna of your nervous system. Right now, the signals are slowing down. The electricity is dimming. The brain waves are shifting. They are moving from the fast, choppy beta waves of the day, slowing down into the relaxing alpha waves, drifting deeper into the dreamlike theta waves, and finally sinking into the slow, rolling ocean of delta waves. Delta. Deep, restorative sleep, the healing frequency. Your body is heavy, not heavy like a burden, but heavy like gold, precious and solid. Sink into that density. There is nothing you need to figure out tonight. Your liver knows how to filter, your marrow knows how to make blood, your lungs know how to extract oxygen. You are a miracle of engineering, and the machine is in maintenance mode. Listen to the silence of the room again. But this time, listen to it with your whole body. Your skin is listening, your bones are listening. You are entering a state of biological trust. You are handing over the keys. Here you say to your body, "You take over. I am going to sleep." And your body whispers back, "I've got this. I know what to do. Rest." The trillions of stars in your internal universe are twinkling in the dark, working in harmony. It is a symphony of silence. And as the cells continue their quiet, intelligent work, we prepare for the final step. We have traveled through history, through nature, and through our own biology. Now there is only one place left to go, the place where the story ends and the dream begins. We drift toward the final surrender, letting go into the intelligent night. We have arrived. The journey through time is finished. The journey through the world is finished. The journey through your own body is complete. There is nowhere left to go. There is nothing left to learn. There is nothing left to do. You are standing at the edge of the velvet shore. In front of you lies the vast, calm ocean of sleep. It stretches out to the horizon, dark, still, and inviting. This is the final surrender.
The word surrender often sounds like a defeat, but in the language of sleep, surrender is a victory. It is the moment you finally stop holding up the sky. It is the moment you realize that the universe is strong enough to hold itself together without your help. Feel the bed beneath you one last time. Really feel it. It is a solid platform. It is anchored to the floor. The floor is anchored to the foundation. The foundation is anchored to the earth. And the earth is suspended in the soft, magnetic embrace of the cosmos. You are being held by a chain of strength that goes back to the beginning of time. You can let go. Unclench your hands. Imagine that you are holding two heavy bags full of today's conversations, tomorrow's plans, the world's noise. Now, just open your fingers. Drop them. Feel them falling away into the dark. Your hands are empty. Your hands are light. They are open, resting softly on the mattress, curled like the sleeping leaves in the forest we visited. This is the intelligence of the night. The sun is the time for clarity, for distinct shapes, for me and you. But the night is the time for dissolving. The darkness blurs the edges of the room. It blurs the edges of your body. It blurs the edges of yourself. You are melting into the intelligent night. Think of all the wisdom we have passed tonight. It is all fading now, becoming a soft, distant hum. The scrolls of Alexandria are rolled up and sleeping. The roots of the forest are cool and still. The river has flowed into the sea. The whale is drifting in the deep. The cathedral is silent. The candle is out. The cells are working. It is all working. It is all safe. You don't need to remember it. You can let the stories drift away like smoke. What remains is only the sensation of gravity. Gravity is the Earth's way of hugging you. It pulls you down, down, down. It says, stay here, rest here, I have you. Allow your body to become incredibly heavy. Your feet are heavy stones sinking into warm sand. Your legs are heavy logs drifting in the river. Your hips are heavy anchors settling in the mud. Your spine is a heavy chain resting on the deck of a ship. Your shoulders are melting wax. Your head is a heavy, precious sculpture supported by the pillow. The connection between your head and the pillow is the only thing that matters in the world right now. That point of contact, soft, cool, absolute. Your eyes are closed. Behind your eyelids, there is a screen. Perhaps you see colors, swirling purples, soft grays, deep indigos. These are the curtains of the dream world. The intelligent night is preparing to weave a new story for you, a story that doesn't follow the rules of logic, a story where you can fly, where you can meet old friends, where time doesn't exist. You are handing over the paintbrush to your subconscious. Here, you whisper, you paint now. The silence in the room is not empty. It is a blanket. Pull it up over your shoulders. Tuck it under your chin. The silence is warm. Listen to your breath one last time. It has become so slow, so shallow. It is barely there. It is just a tiny ripple on the surface of a deep lake. In, out. There is a space between the exhale and the next inhale, a pause, a moment of total nothingness. Find that pause. Linger there. That tiny gap is the door to sleep. It gets a little wider with every breath. The door is opening. You are no longer a person trying to sleep. You are sleep itself. You are the darkness. You are the quiet. The thoughts that might still be drifting through your mind are like distant birds flying high in the sky. You are down here on the ground. They are up there. Let them fly. They have nothing to do with you. They are just specks against the moon. You are sinking deeper now, past the level of relaxation, past the level of tiredness. You are entering the drift. It feels like floating on a raft in a warm cavern. The water is black and glossy. The air is warm. The current is taking you gently, slowly, further into the dark. You trust the current. You are safe. You are loved. You are enough. The intelligence of the universe is watching over you. The stars are keeping time. The earth is spinning.
The sun is already on its way to the other side of the world to prepare for tomorrow. But that is hours away, years away. Right now, there is only the now, and the now is soft. Let go of the last bit of tension in your forehead. Smooth it out. Let go of the tongue in your mouth. Let it float. Let go of the eyes in their sockets. Let them rest back. Your conscious mind is flickering like the last embers of a fire, glowing, fading, glowing, fading. It is okay to let the fire go out. The darkness is comfortable. You are surrendering to the vast, ancient, intelligent rhythm of rest. It has been waiting for you all day. It greets you like an old friend. Welcome home, it says. Welcome to the quiet. You are dissolving, drifting, sinking. The story is over. The words are ending. The silence is beginning. Deep, slow, still. Good night to the history. Good night to the world. Good night to you. Sleep, sleep, sleep.